All right, today we got a 2015 Nissan Rogue that's running rough, and we got a check engine light on. Let's hook up the scanner and see what we got. Okay, so to get to the oil control solenoid for the exhaust cam, we need to pull the motor mounts and jack up the motor a little bit to access this thing. Now, before we start, put a floor jack underneath the motor, and you can put it underneath the oil pan, but you definitely want to put a block of wood in between there so you don't crack that aluminum oil pan. So let me show you the motor mounts to take loose now. You're gonna have to take loose this motor mount and this motor mount. So you got 3 bolts going down to the frame there, 4 going into the motor. Once the engine's supported, you can take those loose, and you can just, all I did was take this 1 bolt out on this one and move this dog bone out of the way, and that'll let the motor come up and down enough before you can access this solenoid a little easier. Now you can also take loose these AC line bracket bolts, and that'll let you get these lines pulled over and get that motor mount out of there. Okay, so all I've done here is provided the solenoid with a 12-volt power and a 12-volt ground, and I put my starter switch in here just to turn it on and off on demand here. So we'll see as we turn it on, the plunger is moving. Now that being said, we don't know how this solenoid's acting when there is oil pressure on the other side of this, and also it's not going to be controlled 12 volts directly on and off. It's going to be duty cycle controlled, so we could still have a problem in the windings of that solenoid. So let me show you how to check that. You're just going to put your voltmeter on ohms and connect the 2 wires to the 2 test leads here, and you can see our solenoid has a resistance value of 7 ohms, which is within spec. Okay, so we've bench tested this solenoid, and it's working with 12 volts applied to it, and we can see it cycling, and it is within resistance specifications. But you know what, I'm gonna put one in it anyway because it looks funky and the case is falling off of it, and I think that's probably gonna fix it. So let's give it a shot. All right, so immediately I started it up, and it's running a lot smoother than it was before. And so I'm gonna clear my codes out and take it for a little test drive and see what happens.